Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Afi and I'm back again with another video. This is another song inspiration. If you haven't watched the other one that I did, I'm gonna leave it up here and you can check it out. If you're new here, please make sure to subscribe if you like this content. I do Bible plans, song inspirations, life stuff, university stuff, and a bunch of other stuff that I feel like people don't talk about when it comes to faith, and I love to bring the faith perspective to actual life. So if that's your kind of stuff, please make sure you subscribe. If you end up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps. And if you enjoy it so much that you want to share it, please feel free to share. I actually really appreciate if you share this content. So yeah, we'll just get into it. So this video... Until grace will be saved. I didn't know I could be free until grace found me. So that's a little bit when I went on YouTube to look for music to listen to, and I just saw this song Until Grace by Tauren, and I was like, okay, let me just try it because, who knows really. And I listened to it and my life has never been the same since then. After I listened to this one, I found another Christian music playlist which has a bunch of really good songs. So I'm gonna leave that playlist down below and you can check it out as well. Let me know if you like those songs, because for me they were just like my jam. But yeah, so this song popped up and I listened to it the first time and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. First of all, the vocals on Tauren and Rascall Flatts, those vocals, oh gosh, you guys, best thing in the entire world. And then the actual words and the meaning of the song and the music behind it, it's very, very nice. So anyway, the first verse says, I knew I was broken, but there was no one that I could tell. Praying felt like I was throwing pennies in a wishing well. And I started believing I was cursed to carry this weight. I was listing the reasons of why I should walk away. And I feel like this part is very self-explanatory, honestly. But the idea that you get to a point where you know you're broken and you feel like there's no one that you can talk to. And it's interesting because we have so many people around us and so many people will tell you oh, if you need someone to talk to, you can talk to me, blah, blah, blah. And we are open to other people coming to talk to us. But there are moments that we get to and we're just I feel like I can't tell anyone, or I feel like I've been complaining for way too long. I can't do it anymore. Praying is not seeming like it's helping you in any way. And you start to believe that this is just how your life is going to be. You're just going to end up like this, and that's just how it's going to be, and you have to get used to it, right? And you start listing reasons for why you should walk away. And I really don't want to go dark, but it's walk away from life. It's walk away from faith. It's walk away from friends. It's walk away from anything. You just start listing those reasons. And you know what? I'm going to talk about Harry Potter. I just watched Harry Potter for the first time this past week, and I really, really enjoyed it. I did not expect to enjoy it that much, but I really did. But something that happens in one of them, I think it's the fourth or fifth movie, I can't remember, but something that happens is Harry is feeling very he's tired of explaining these issues to people. He's I'm tired of explaining how terrible this is. And he starts to feel very isolated, right? And he starts to also isolate himself from his friends. And in this movie, he meets a girl called Lila. I think that's her name. And she basically one time tells him she's oh, I'm sure the enemy would really, really like for you to feel isolated. That's what I would have done if that's what I was trying to do, right? Because the more you feel isolated, the more you're sort of just one person, right? And as one person, you're not a threat at all. But with all your friends, you are a massive threat. So the point is for you to feel isolated. And so that it just made me think about this. It's whenever you're in this dark place, all you want to do is isolate yourself, is to be oh, let me just chill alone. Let me just be alone. Let me spend my time alone, blah, blah, blah. Whereas that's what the enemy wants, because if you're alone, then you're so much easier to hold on to than when you have a community around you. And so I'm just going to say it's very important to have community, and yeah, just make sure you always have a community. So the chorus is, until grace called my name, I didn't know I could be free until grace found me. Until grace broke these chains, I didn't know I could be free until grace found me. In my other video, I think it's going to be like maybe 3 videos ago at this point, or maybe 4. I'm going to leave it up here, that video. But I basically talk about how I don't think people talk about the freedom that comes with having faith. So many times we see faith as this thing that constricts us. And even until now, sometimes I'm like, I think about the things that I'm saying that I can't do, and I'm like, oh gosh, this really looks like hell. But it really is not hell. And I'm really praying and trying to find a way to talk about freedom in faith. So hopefully I'm going to be able to do a video like that sometime soon. But the idea of freedom in faith is something that we don't talk about. And here it says, like, until grace called my name, I didn't know I could be free from those problems. That's the thing. It's like sometimes we think we're free, but we're not really. And then we're in trouble, and then we feel like we're in chains. And then you find faith and you're absolutely free. And you're just like, I didn't know it was possible to be this kind of free. Like this kind of free, I didn't think I could ever like attain it. So I really like that chorus because of that. The second verse says, I might be looking at a future full of question marks, but I don't have to have all of the answers if you have my heart. In you, I'm finding In you, I'm finding redemption a little more with every breath. Brand new like the morning, and I'll never forget that. Until grace called my name, I didn't know I could be free until grace found me. So the idea of having a future full of question marks, let me tell you something. Yeah. I feel like having faith is the most assuring thing, but also the most confusing thing at the same time, because sometimes you're very sure about where you're going, right? You're like, yes, I feel like God has directed me in this direction, and that's where we're going, and I can see it, right? And then something happens and you're just thrown off course a lot, and you're just like, okay, now this is where faith comes in, right? Because you're just like, okay, I'm going to move forward. And sometimes it's like you feel like you know what the next step is, right? But you don't know where it's leading you. And that's what this verse sort of talks about, right? Like, I might be looking at a future of question marks, but I don't have all of the answers. I don't have to have all of the answers if you have my heart. And that's something that has been so important to me, because there's no logical reason why you shouldn't have all the answers. We like to sit down and be like, I want all the answers of these questions. You're not going to get them, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we can't know everything. And so just that idea that like you don't have the answers, but it's fine, it's okay, because not having the answers doesn't mean that, like, it's not a bad thing. Also, I think for me, I've also been equating not having answers to the idea of being young and not having like answers, because it's like sometimes we're like, oh, we have to have all of our life figured out. Like, I'm graduating next year, and it's sort of like, okay, what am I about to do with my life? Like, I have no idea where my life is going. Like, I'm just like, okay, I'm currently doing an internship, and I thought this internship would sort of like help me, navigate through where I'm going to end up in life. And I feel like now I'm a little bit more confused than I was before. And I'm just like, okay then. So it feels like every step I'm taking is leading me into even more confusion, which is just like, that's great, but that's next year's problem now. I'm just like, okay, it's next year's problem. By next year, we'll know. Because so much changes in like 6 months, in a year. Like, so much just changes in life in general. You can't truly, truly know. And we like to kid ourselves and be like, I know where I'm going. You don't know where you're going. You're going to end up where you did not think you are. But in you, I'm finding redemption a little more with every breath. Brand new like the morning, and I'll never forget that until grace called my name, I didn't know I could be free. Until grace found me, until grace broke these chains, I didn't know I could be free until grace found me. So the bridge says, you came like force of nature, knocked down every wall I made. You rescued my soul when I thought there was no escape. You came like force of nature, knocked down every wall I made. You rescued my soul when I thought there was no escape. And then we go back to the chorus, which is now like closing the song. Until Grace called my name, I didn't know I could be free until Grace found me. First of all, yeah, so this is a really short video, but it's because the song is quite short, and I feel like as well it's very like self-explanatory and stuff like that, so I didn't want to talk for way too long. But yeah, so I hope you have enjoyed this video. Let me know whether you actually have ever felt this grace that has given you so much freedom. Let me know what ideas you have for a video about freedom in faith, if you have any. That will be nice. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye.